Another way of giving input arguments to a function is to give even more freedom to the function to take as many input arguments as um, needed for that specific set of operations that are being done within the function. Now, we call that functions with variable length arguments. In this case, I can define a function. Let's say just define a function called print numbers, and I want it to take as many input arguments as the user wants. So how do I do that? I use this format for the input arguments. I basically put an asterisk, and then args, which tells the function that you might get as many input arguments as possible, basically. So in this case, let's say we're getting a lot of arguments, and since I'm trying not to use for now, I will just say print args 0, args 1, and args 2. Now if I call this function print numbers, and let's say we'll give it 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? And you're not gonna get any error calling this function. It doesn't care how many input arguments are coming, because this takes all of it, and then you can do operations on the ones that you want. Now this is not exactly a good example, because if I give 1 and 2, I'm not gonna have the third one to do this operation. But typically within the function there are steps that take care of specific arguments, or the number of arguments, the minimum number of arguments. But I just wanted to show you that you will see also in other people's codes that when they want to pass variable length arguments, they use asterisk args. Now you can combine this with a specific argument. Let's say you have a certain one argument that you want it to be there, and then the rest could be as many as you feel like, or you believe that the function might need. Here is an example, which is not that bad, because we can also practice the joint approach that we saw when we were dealing with the strings. Let's say I want define a function called concatenate, and let's say it takes a specific argument separator, and then the rest can be as many as the user puts as the input. So let's say return, and I would say the separator dot join, and then args. What does this do? It basically takes, I'm gonna give you an example. It takes a separator argument, which is in this case comma with a space, and then whatever list of strings I give, apple, banana, let's say cherry. Right? If I print result, basically it takes apple, banana, cherry, they all go into args here, and then separator would be the first input. So if I run that, it takes all of these and join them together with a comma separator. Right? You saw when we were converting a string into a list and then putting it back together after doing some string manipulation, we were putting it back together. We were using join method. There we did something like this: join, and then whatever the char list was to attach them together and make it again look like a string. But here I'm using join for a different purpose. So the bottom line is you can have variable length arguments, could just be all of it, or you could just have specific input arguments that you want to be there, and the rest be more like a free form, so you can have as many input as you want. And remember, you can even do something like if I say, let's say this is the default value, then that actually, maybe we shouldn't discuss that for now. Let's just stick to this for now, and hopefully this makes sense in terms of variable length arguments for a function.